All right now, greetings. This is Grandfather. Now, don't get all fussed up. You were expecting perhaps major events, and you were just supposed to sit and wait and watch them happen. But it's not quite like that. This channel, YouTube Benevolent Magic, is about teaching. It's about helping you to become totally empowered. And totally empowered means that you are able to function in your life in a benevolent way because the things that you have learned are able to empower you to do for yourself and even do for others. Now, all the benevolent energy that you need to create such a life is now available for you. As of 1/11/11, the intersection of all the benevolent energies that all human beings need have come together on Earth. But they are waiting. What are they waiting for? You now have the capacity to create without thinking. Oh, granted, you will have to do things that you normally do. Wash dishes, drive a car, do your homework, all of that. But in terms of the larger things of life, things you may need for yourself, things you may need for your family, things you may need for your country, things you may need for your planet, this can now be created without thought. It does require, however, that you be clear. That's why I gave the homework that I did in the last video on the 10th of January, 2011. Practice your clearing. It is absolutely essential. All right? And I'll give you something else too. But I want you to practice your clearing because it will take you probably 10 or 12 times doing that once a day to feel pretty clear. And know this. You don't have to learn anything now to create benevolently. But you do have to have feelings that are not awash with inner conflicts. Inner conflicts come about as a result not only of what you've been taught, what you have learned, what you've accumulated, but also old unresolved feelings in you. These come about as a result of many different things in your life. Events, tragedies, discomforts, all kinds of things. Many of these have happened with other people. Sometimes they've happened strictly on the basis of your own challenges in life. So, practice your clearing so that when you do discover you've created something, okay, and it'll be like that it will come from the clearest possible place within you. And I want you to do something else for your own sake, all right? Not to make Grandfather happy, but strictly for your own sake. And that is that I strongly recommend you start doing your disentanglement. There will be links on the blogs when you go there, as always, to the degree that it will be possible, eh? But I will give you an idea of what disentanglement is for. In the past, many things have happened to you or to your family, or there's been discomforts with people. Sometimes they're so far in the past you really don't remember what they are. And yet, you often have these uncomfortable feelings about doing this or doing that, and other people don't seem to have those feelings. Why do you have them? All right? But this is not about analysis. Psychology is good, and you can learn many things from such therapies. But sometimes things cannot be remembered so easily. So I want to teach you a bit about disentanglement. Disentanglement is something that will help you to let go of uncomfortable things that have happened in your past with people, places, or even things. And you don't have to remember too much. First off, what I'd like you to begin doing is to ask for all the most benevolent energies that are available for you to be all around you and all about you. Then pause. Some of you will feel an energy come up. That's good. If you don't feel it, then just pause for about 20 or 30 seconds. Try to make sure the ringer's off on your phone and there's really no chance of you being interrupted to the best of your ability. I know you have busy lives. Then, say this. I recommend you say, I am asking that gold light beings and light beings who are compatible with the gold light, or compatible with gold light beings, or both, come now and disentangle me from all my discomforts and their causes. All right, then just wait about 20 minutes. A lot of you will feel energy come up, some of you won't. So if you have to glance at the clock, don't glance too often, as I said in a previous video. But if you have to glance at the clock for any reason, then after you've glanced at it, just go like that. That will signify to the light beings that it's all right to continue what they were doing. And what will they be doing? Everything that happened to you in the past, or that you even became upset about, even if it didn't happen to you, but caused you upset, has like a thread attaching to it. And this thread, because it's not resolved, you understand, as a discomfort, you haven't been able to resolve it in any way, this thread will pull on you when various things come up that are like having your buttons pushed. You know what I mean? Something comes up, and it wouldn't bother somebody else, but it bothers you, because something is unresolved. And of course, in your case, when other people have that experience around something that doesn't bother you, well, their threads are pulling on them. These light beings will be able to travel back along the lines of those threads and disconnect them so that those things that are bothering you will not bother you so much anymore. That's right. Now, it would be good if you can do this at least 3 times a week. If you happen to fall asleep because you're doing it at night, and if you do at night, try to make sure you're not touching any other human being while you're doing this, then it's probably okay if there's a dog or a cat there. If they're not comfortable with it, they'll move. All right? So, after you have done that, maybe 7 or 8 times, just the thing I said, then begin to write down, make a list of people, places, and things, meaning objects, or places, meaning times, circumstances, people, meaning individuals or groups, that have bothered you or upset you, things you can remember. And over time, you'll remember more. Make the list as long as you want. It can be something that happened recently. It can be something that happened a long time ago. Write down what you can remember. Once you start getting your list going, then what you can do with your disentanglement is you can, after you make that opening statement that I said before about asking the gold-like beings to come and disentangle you, pause about 30 seconds or 40 seconds after you say that, and then add 1 or 2 things off of your list. Okay? You can begin with 1 thing, or you can do 2 things. And you can say it like this. I'm just going to put in a word that says blank. You might say, I am also asking that you disentangle me from blank. Okay, like that. And then you can say it again about something else. Obviously, you won't say blank. You'll say, in as few words as possible, the event, the person, place, or thing you wish to be disentangled from. Now, why make the list? You make the list because it will help you to get clear. Okay? And if you can remember these things, that means it's probably really bothering you. And it could have been something that happened that day. That's all right. Now, the whole purpose about getting empowered and getting clear is so that when you create things, and it really will happen without thought, that you can be feeling as benevolent as you can possibly feel. What will happen when you do get that way, doing your clearing and doing your disentanglement, is that you might be sitting someplace just calmly and feeling benevolent, and suddenly a thought will pop into your head for a moment. I'd like to have this. I wish the world was like that. And it will just be gone. It'll pass. You won't think much about it. You'll go on with your life. And it could be that 2 or 3 days later, or sooner, you'll hear something about that, or you'll experience something like that, or you'll know somebody else that experienced something like that you wished for or hoped for, and it happened, at least to some degree, in some way. You will have these experiences and they will be very helpful to you because you will realize the actual capacity you have to create now. 11111 was entirely about new beginnings, creating something without thought. Thought is good, but creation must take place with all these benevolent energies that are available for you. It must take place from as clear a being as you can be. I know it seems like I'm giving you a lot of homework, but the road to complete empowerment takes time, and you will be amazed at what you will be able to do. Much of the homework I've given before that you may have had difficulty with will suddenly become very easy. And the homework I will be giving in the future, which will seem like science fiction to many of you, will seem, once you get clear, like, oh, sure, that's easy. Empowering you is why I'm here. And your job, because I can't do everything for you, is to get as clear as possible. So request your clearing, as stated in the last video, and do your disentanglement. It really will help you. Now, do the best you can. I'll be putting up a few helpful posts about regular everyday stuff here pretty soon. At least Robbie will, with my words. And just know that Grandfather loves you. I want the best for you. And I'm hopeful that you will be able to establish yourself with your gold light beings and light beings who are helpers, and really, it is a way to describe what angels are in some religions. But as you know, I'm trying to keep it broader than a single religion, because these beings come to all of you, regardless of your religion, your thoughts, or your beliefs. They help you to come here and be born. They help you to move away when it's time to move off with your life and continue elsewhere. And they meet up with you and interact with you at the deep dream level. It will be all right. Do your homework, practice as well as possible, and good things will happen. Good life to you all. and good night.